All right, I'm going to try this again. So this is part two, replacing the unloader valve on these type of Generac or Briggs Stratton pumps, water pumps. They don't make a replacement pump. This part is not, the entire pump is not available anymore. So if you have one and want to repair it, the best way to do it is to get a kit and replace the parts inside the unloader valve. They get typically they get water scale buildup in there, lime, and they block the ports, and you'll get a few symptoms of that. Either you get low or no pressure. You might get pulsating in the water hose. You get the engine surging because the pressure is going up and down, putting strain on the engine. Or the problem that I saw was that when I was releasing pressure on the trigger on the hose so that the water had nowhere to go, the unloader was stuck and wasn't releasing the pressure, so that caused the engine to just die at that point. That was the symptom that I had. Now you could get an aftermarket pump. They do have them for $75 to $100. How they fit and how they work, I don't know. So it's up to you if you want to do that. I would say you do have to be mechanically inclined if you're going to replace the unloader valve. It's not for the faint of heart, because there is no way to get this plastic nut off without breaking it. It will not budge. Even if you have a perfect fitting 6-point socket, go gently, go hard. You can use an impact wrench, you can use a manual socket, doesn't matter. This is not coming out because the threads are all scaled up, and it basically it becomes like a thread locker, and this will not move. The only way to do it is to drill out the middle and then chisel the rest of it out with a small screwdriver and a hammer. Fortunately, the plastic breaks fairly easily, so if you work on it carefully, because you don't want to damage the threads in the housing. But it can be taken out, and it's going to take you probably half an hour to 45 minutes doing it carefully. So as I was saying, if you're not mechanically inclined, I would not suggest you try to do this. Either buy a whole new pump, which again, if you're not mechanically inclined, you could have problems, because you might have to do some kind of customizations to get the holes to line up perfectly, or something else. But if that's the case, you're probably going to wind up buying a whole new pressure washer if you have this type with the plastic cap. But if you are mechanically inclined, it's going to take you about an hour, and for about $30, the kit costs $30 for a new valve. I would say it's worth it. I did this, and the machine works like new now. So yeah, so basically, as I said, you have to drill this out, get the plastic out. Then after that, you're gonna get the spring. Oh, one more thing. Put a plastic bag under the gas cap and tilt this over so that this unloader cap is facing straight up. You're going to have it in that position, because when you put it back on, you're going to have to put pressure on it because it's spring loaded. And the only way to do that is with this laying on its side, and the valve pointing straight up. That's the best way to do it. So, either you could take the fuel out if you want to do that. The way I did it was just put a plastic bag under the cap so that the gas doesn't leak out the vent. But yeah, so then the next thing, after you break apart the cap on the inside, you'll take out this spring. Then what you'll see is, just trying to hold this and the camera. Okay, so you're gonna have the piston, and the seat is next. Now the piston comes out relatively easily, but there's nothing to grab onto. So the way I did it was I took a bolt, I took a bolt similar to this, and stick it in there, and you can angle the bolt so that the threads grip the sides, and then yank it out. It doesn't have to be a perfectly sized bolt. This one isn't. There's some play, but if you angle it, you'll still be able to grip it and get it out. That came out fairly easily. Also, you can see on this piston, it had these kind of like plastic seals. The new part doesn't have that, but don't be alarmed, because with what you get in the kit is the parts are updated and they're backwards compatible with all of these. So don't be alarmed if they don't look exactly the same. The last part, which is stuck down in the housing, is this seat. And the way you get it is take a drywall screw and put it into that hole in the middle. After that, what you can do is take a claw hammer and put the claws on the head of the screw, and then yank this out, or lever it out. That's actually what I did. Was I put something under the hammer so that I would be able to get some lever action, and got it that way. You might be able to just pull it straight out too. I mean, you might be able to get put vice grips on the head and pull it out. I think I tried that and it was a little bit harder, so I went to a claw hammer with the lever action, and this came out. As you can see, there's a lot of scale buildup, and that makes it really difficult to remove. There's no other way to do it. Alright, so after you have the housing, after you have all the parts out of the housing, next take a Dremel tool with a steel wire brush like this and clean out the threads. This is very important to get all the scale out of there, so that the new part goes in easily. So after you have it all brushed out nicely, blow out the remaining dust. Then take the new cap and put some waterproof grease on, plumber's grease on it. This is not silicone grease. It's actually like, it looks brown. It's called waterproof grease. It's petroleum based, but Briggs Stratton said this is the right grease to use. They don't use silicone grease. You probably could use silicone grease. I don't see why not. But I think this one is thicker and it won't wash away as easily as silicone grease under pressure. So that's what I used. Put it inside, then take the plastic cap and work it back and forth to clean the threads out. Then after that, put the O-ring on the new seat, put some waterproof grease on the O-ring, put this into the housing, and push it in with like a wooden dowel or a small wooden stick of some kind. Do not use metal because you don't want to gouge the brass like I did here. This is the old, those were nicks from removing the old one. But you don't want to gouge it, the new part. So don't use anything metal to press it in. If you don't have anything, it will seat itself when it gets pushed in with the spring. But I decided to push it in before doing that, so I didn't have anything else fighting me when I was screwing it in. So after you have that, then put the piston in. And then that just goes right in. Then put the spring in. Then you're going to take your socket, either a 24mm or a 15/16, both of them fit fine, on your new cap. One point I missed was before you put in all these parts, what you want to do, or before you put the spring in, actually, take some of this waterproof grease and grease up the bottom of the threads. Basically what you want to do is you want to block water from getting up into the threads, and putting waterproof grease in there will help you do that in case in the future you want to remove this without having to break it off again. That will probably help. Okay, and at that point you put the spring in there, you put the socket on, you push down on the cap and turn it, but make sure it's going in straight. You don't want to cross thread it, and it should go in fairly easily at that point. Once you have the first 2 or 3 threads secure, the rest of it will go in pretty easily. Now, and the torque spec for this from the manufacturer is 7 to 10 foot-pounds. I did it to 8 foot-pounds and it was fine. The O-ring is nice and flush, so this is sealed nicely. And that's about it. I think I covered everything. If there's any questions, something that I didn't cover, leave a comment below and I'll be sure to answer. All right, guys, good luck.